I'm at the main menu, and I'm going to take you through these modules very quickly. I'm going to click on the designer. The designer is the data repository of HGSI. It also has some other functions, but I won't cover those now. You can see that we have reference groups. Anything in these yellow folders with the red, green, and yellow HGSI icon is contained in, these are the reference groups. You cannot modify that data. But this is all the information. This is what's downloaded with the download every night. Now the custom groups, this is a group of 50 stocks which are created every night, or this is created every time you update, I should say, with the latest information. And these are stocks which are appearing most often in these smart groups. You can see that there are very few smart groups right here because I have not added them yet. So I'm going to do that here in a second. There are user groups. There's not much here right now, but this is where your user groups will go. And if you decide to add my market analysis user groups, they'll go there also. But let's go back here to the custom groups. I'm going to go to the File menu and go down to select Manage Group Subscriptions. Now these are smart groups. Smart groups are simply groups of stocks that are created and updated every day based upon filters and what we call combo rankings. I'll get into the explanation of the combos later, but what the combos essentially do is drive the best stocks to the top of the list, and then that list is truncated or cut off at a certain point, usually 25 stocks, but there are exceptions, and then those are presented as groups where you can do your prospecting. I'm going to select option volume, and I'm just going to select all. Just check all. And when I do that, notice that these groups are being built right now. The indexes are being created. This just takes a few seconds. Okay, and then I go back into the designer, and now what do we have? We have a list of all of the smart groups. The ones that I work with are right here under Ian Woodward and Ron Brown. These are groups that I created over the years. Most of them have been around for a long time. Now, if you listen to Jeffrey Scott, his smart groups are down here. And then there are several other people: Charles Kirkpatrick, Dave Steckler, David Gilardi, Gil Morales. You probably all know Gil Morales, Larry Connors, and then a group called Morpheus Trading Groups. I'm going to look at one smart group here. It's the Best of Woodward and Brown. This is created yesterday, after yesterday's data, which was July 19th. And what this does is it goes in and selects the top stocks which appear most often under the Woodward and Brown smart group. So it goes in, the program goes in and it calls out or selects is probably a better word, selects the top 10 stocks based upon the number of times they've appeared or they appear in these groups on this day. So let me just bring up a chart. In-phase energy has been strong for a long time. No dividends on this stock. I'll go ahead and cover this information later in another video. But you can see that this is a very strong stock, and it's appeared multiple times in the Best of Woodward and Brown. Now, as I look here, use the drop-down menu, you can see that there are very few charts. There are some charts down here, but I'm going to introduce you to my charts, the ones that I use, because they're the ones that I'm most familiar with. If I go back, turn auto zoom on, notice that it goes to this view. If I want to keep it on my zoomed view, I'm going to deselect that again. Now I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to go to a different symbol, and it will retain this zoom level. I don't use auto zoom because I don't want to be constantly zooming in and out. I want it to hold the zoom. So once again, make sure you deselect auto zoom. If you want a crosshair, fine. If you don't, deselect that and the crosshair disappear. These windows are resizable. Now this is just a single chart. It's hard to do anything with a single chart, but I'm going to show you where you can get my charts, or at least some of them, and you'll have quite a selection. Okay, let's see if there's anything else that I need to deal with right now. I don't believe so. Okay, let's go back to the main menu, the charting view, the warehouse view. The warehouse view is where we do our prospecting, and there's really nothing set up here. There's a combo rank, but there's no filter. I'll explain that when I get in to some of my work. And then there is the download and update HGSI. I'll show you the intraday when I get into that portion of it. You can select this updating process to occur any time. Just click on that, click on apply, and then that will be selected. Once again, click there, click apply. Then when you reopen it, it is already selected. This is for intraday data. That comes later. This is to back up your data. I recommend backing up your data every day. I back mine up every day, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day, depending upon what I'm working on. And then, I didn't mean to do that. Under the preferences, I've already kind of talked about that, and then here's your help menu. I may refer to this in the future, but basically what I want you to remember is to make these icons small so you have more screen space, and then for certain go in here and set up these smart groups, because you'll be using these smart groups. Also, I didn't mention it, or I haven't really gotten into it. The user groups is where your groups will be if you set up your portfolio or save stocks that you're potentially thinking about buying or selling. That's where that goes. And this will all become very clear as I go through these opening videos. That's it for this video. I'm going to move on, and I'll get you started.